G'day, I'm Andrew. I have C4-5 quadriplegia. I'm a mouth artist and CNC programmer. In this tutorial, I want to show you how to import a SVG or DXF file using Vetric Expire 11.5. I want to show you how I would cut out this money box and the clear acrylic lid. I have this file available on my Etsy shop, as well as the rest of the alphabet as capital letter money boxes. The links are available in the description below. I modelled this capital A money box at 320mm by 320mm, which is roughly 12.6 inches. You can go to the yellow folder icon, which is the import vector icon, or click on file, then click import, then click import vectors. Now I modelled this up as a 320 by 320mm square. I'll just do this as a reference. You can scale these files to whatever dimensions you like. You can make it a meter by a meter if you really wanted to. I'll just simply delete it. Next step is to go to the toolpath tab, click the little thumbtack icon to keep the toolpad ajar so it doesn't disappear. Now I want this inner edge, so I'm going to make the pocket in between this inner edge, and if you hold down shift, click the middle of the capital A, or click and drag to your left and select both, depending if there's any other lines in the way. Click the pocket toolpath. Now this pocket that I want to make is only 40mm deep. The material is 50mm thick, so I want to leave 10mm at the bottom. So I'll change this to 40mm to tell the tool to go down and hog out 40mm worth of material. Also, using the same file, you can click the double side machining option at the start of your job setup and copy the SVG or DXF file to both sides and mill straight through. The only issue there is you'll need to support the middle piece of the capital A, and when you construct it with acrylic lids on either side, you'll either have to glue the middle part in or create a vertical structure to hold it in place. Apart from that, you have two options with these files, and once that pocket is complete, go down to calculate, click that. Just for reference, I'll just change it to one pass. Click calculate. Now it gives you the pocket 40mm thick into the material. I'll preview that just briefly. There, you've hogged out all the material. The next is the recessed edge to come down 5mm to hold the piece of acrylic. There's a couple of issues with that. Not only do you have to select both these edges, also you have to select the middle of the capital A, because it's also going to have to go down 5mm. Otherwise the acrylic lid will not fit on. So again, hold down shift, select that, double check the depth that you're cutting down, change that to 5mm. Your acrylic size may be 4mm, just change it to suit. And from there, I always ramp the toolpath, at least double the size of the tool. Calculate. See the edge that it's going to go down, it's going to take off the top of the middle of the capital A. Now your acrylic will sit flush. Just quickly preview that. Now after this job is done, depending on your tool sharpness or your machine, you may have little splinters or furry bits on the edges. That's because the tool doesn't quite go over the edge. I'm using a 6mm tool in this model. It's an easy option, saving on sanding. You simply set up a profile toolpath, which puts the tool directly on the line. You go up to the first little box, profile toolpath, and from there, it's the inner edge. So I'm going to have the tool directly over the top. Again, click shift, select the middle. Now, I don't want it on the outside of the line, and I don't want it on the inside of the line. I want the tool directly over the top of the line. So that's going to put the 6mm tool 3mm either side, and it should clean up those furry bits or splinters left over from the previous machine. Double check the cut depth, 5mm. Now there's going to be no timber there except for these little light pieces, so I won't worry about ramps on this one. I'll just drop down, follow that line and clean it up as best as I can. Hopefully you'll save on sanding, saving a bit of time in the preparation work. When I create these CNC files and tutorials, I'm conscious of the people who will be cutting them out with automatic tool change and manual tool change CNC machines. In that respect, I try to use the same tool to do as many operations in a row before having to change it, as well as trying to minimize extra sanding and preparation work when the operation is finished. It's a lot easier to get the machine to do most of the work in the most efficient time as possible. Now the next step is to cut out the pocket for the coin slot. The Australian 50-cent piece is 31.65mm wide, so I've modelled it to 36mm wide. You can change it to your currency size, your largest coin or note, etc. Now from here you just got to double check the cut depth is correct. Now the acrylic is going to be 5mm thick. Also want to add on another 4 or 5mm for the coin to slide between the actual acrylic and the timber once it's been cut. Other than that, that's pretty straightforward. The next step is to do the drilling toolpath. Now ideally you could do the drilling toolpath first and then use a 6mm tool for every other operation after that to make it the most efficient way to machine it. However, I've done it this way for now. I need to change the cut depth of the holes to 10mm, 5mm to go through the 5mm acrylic lid, and then another 5mm into the timber, little brass screws. I'm going to use vector selection order, which means this hold down shift, you select all the individual holes in order. When you do this, the machine will follow the exact order that you made it. Just do a quick preview. There's your holes. The next step is a profile toolpath to cut all the way around the edge. Simply go to profile, click on the outermost edge. At first double check the depth of cut. The material is 50mm, so I want to cut 51mm, so it punches through to the other side and makes a clean cut. Now I need to change the edit passes down from 5 to 1 just to make it look good on the video. Now this is the outside edge I'm selecting. Now I don't want it on or inside, I just want it on the outside. I could add tabs, but I won't do it here at the moment. Simply go to calculate. It's going to warn me that it's going to punch all the way through. And simply select preview, double click the outside, and there's the model cut out. These are all the toolpaths we just created. If I click preview all toolpaths, we'll run through all the machining process. The final step is to create the acrylic lid. I just need the middle shape and the holes for the 5mm cutout recess. The simplest way is to save your work, close it, copy it, and paste it again. That way the file will be exactly the same. This goes for when you scale it larger as well. You'll have to do the same process. Now you won't be needing these files, don't need the outside edge or the inside edge. There's your acrylic edge. You can select all the toolpaths you don't need. Select delete all visible, or you can delete them manually one by one by clicking the delete toolpath with the red X. Now there's a couple of issues to watch out for. Because we copied and pasted from the previous file, we have the previous measurements of a 50mm piece of timber, so we need to change that. Simplest thing, head over to edit, edit job size and position, change it from 50mm down to 5mm, the size of the acrylic sheet. You can also change the material if you like. I selected down the bottom, there is a pale blue plastic to mimic the colour of the plastic. Press OK, it's going to warn me that it's going to cut all the way through. Now the next step is to check the toolpath, drilling the holes. Need to change that to 6mm, 5mm to go through the acrylic, 1mm to punch through the other side. Simply press calculate and say OK. Warn me that it's going to punch all the way through to the bottom. That's fine. Now the next toolpath, it's going to change. It's 5mm thick. Again, change it to 6mm. I want to make sure it's on the outside line. That's fine. Calculate. Now it came up with an error because the previous operation we deleted the outside line. Simply select the new line, click calculate. It's going to warn you again, it's going to punch all the way through to the spoil board. There's your shape. Now, however, this is cut to the exact dimensions of the pocket and it may not fit. So I'll preview all the toolpaths just to show you what we've just done. There's the holes, the outside edge, double click, disappears, there's your lid. Now it may or may not fit because it's going to be the exact same mimic size of the pocket that you created earlier. Easiest thing to do is to select that line and use the offset tool, which is down here on the left. Click the line, go to offset on the bottom left. Now I want it to go inwards, not outwards, not both sides. Now just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to make it 20mm to show you the different coloured lines. The new line is going to be black and the original line is going to remain pink. And you can simply delete it. So I'll undo this, undo the 20mm line, go back to offset, I'll change it to 0.02, you could change it to 0.04, you'll have to experiment with your machine and your machine's tolerances, but again, once you've got the correct size, through trial and error, simply click offset, and you won't be able to see it straight away, so I'll zoom in, click little magnifying tool on the left, zoom in, still can't quite see it, make a small square, I'll zoom in again. The black line is in front of the pink one, so simply press delete, and that is the new line, 0.02mm in from the edge, and that should fit nice and snug and flush within that reset we cut in the timber. So I'll recalculate all the toolpaths. It's going to warn me that it's going to cut all the way through. That's fine. Yep, that's fine. Error again, because we deleted the original line of the profile toolpath. So simply come down here, click the new line, click calculate. It's going to warn you again, it's going to punch all the way through. That's fine. And as you finish, now reset the preview. Preview all toolpaths. Double click, make it disappear. And as you finish lid. I have the link in the description below to all the letters of the alphabet to make these money boxes. Thanks for watching. Bye now.